3 best things to consider when deciding whether or not you should apply for a permit to carry. Since NYSRPA versus Bruen, a U.S. Supreme Court decision back in June of 2022, many people in New Jersey, New York, and other states have applied for and received their carry permits, or as it's known in New Jersey, their permit to carry a handgun. In this video, I'd like to talk about 3 important things you should consider when making that important decision about whether or not a carry permit is right for you. While I agree that it's every law-abiding citizen's right to keep and bear arms to protect themselves and their families, carrying a loaded gun in public is not for everyone. So you need to consider some important facts when deciding whether or not carrying in public is right for you. I need you to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you'll know when we release new videos. Let's get into it. Number 1, can you use it? Can you follow through? So if you have to use your gun, will you be able to? So if you've had the proper training, you will know that if you do pull out your gun, you can't hesitate. So if you are at that point where you need to actually take your gun out, then you make the decision to fire, you cannot hesitate. If you're face to face with a career criminal and you hesitate, they will take the gun from you and they will use it against you. You need to be able to use it if that time comes. Now, on that note of using it, we all hope that we never have to use our guns. If you are in that situation where you do need to use your gun, there's a very good chance you will be arrested. A lot of shooters, even if they're the victim, get arrested or they get taken in for questioning. So you're going to need an attorney. You're going to need to know an attorney or have an attorney on standby. If you do get charged, you will need money to pay for an attorney. Even if you're cleared in the end, a year later, 2 years later, however long it takes, you still need to pay the attorney for going to court and dealing with all the legal battles. Something to consider. Also, you need to consider liability insurance or getting it. These are financial things to consider. Now, in New Jersey, the insurance is an issue because Governor Murphy signed a law in December of 2022 requiring that people that carry guns in public have liability insurance. However, there are no insurance carriers presently at the time of this video that are offering liability insurance for people who carry guns in New Jersey. So it's an issue, and that goes into effect July 1st of 2023. The second thing you need to consider is the emotional toll that using your gun on someone, the effect it will have on you. Now, even if you had no other choice and you know this in your head logically, you can reason with yourself and say, I was in that situation, I had no other choice, I had to use my gun. Even knowing those facts, it's still going to take an emotional toll on you. It will affect you for the rest of your life. How much it will affect you, how much will it affect the rest of your life, that depends on you and your personality. It's something to consider. Another thing to consider is the emotional toll on your family, especially if you have family members, a spouse, a partner who doesn't want you to carry in the first place, and then you wind up using your gun. What will be the effect on your family? And the third thing you need to consider when deciding whether or not you should carry a gun for protection is training and more training. In New Jersey, your permit to carry is good for 2 years. So to me, your mentality should not be, oh, I don't have to go back to the range for 2 years when I have to renew. No, you should be constantly training, some form of training, whether it's dry firing, drawing from a holster with an unloaded gun in your house by yourself, whether it's getting formal training from an instructor, practicing at the range. Remember, it's a skill like anything else needs to be practiced. I've been carrying a gun and shooting for almost 30 years. I can go to the range, I can fire, and I can do pretty well, but it doesn't mean I shouldn't still be training. You need to be training. It's a skill. You need to maintain it. You need to be comfortable. You need to be confident in your abilities. So these are some of the things that you need to consider when trying to make that choice whether or not carrying a gun in public is right for you. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for law-abiding citizens exercising their Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms in public to protect themselves and their families, but it's not for everyone. I briefly need to discuss what a carry permit is not. It's not a shield or a protection device. You need to avoid conflict at all costs. In fact, if you're carrying a gun, you need to be better about conflict avoidance. It's not something that gives you more power or authority like a police officer. So you carrying a gun with a carry permit, you have no more rights or power than any other citizen who's not carrying a gun. It's not a device or tool to change people's behavior. So if you don't like the way someone's talking to you or the way they're acting, and you decide you're going to brandish your firearm or show them that you're carrying a gun to stop them from mouthing off or doing whatever they're doing, you're going to find yourself arrested quickly. So what is a carry permit? Really, it's just a piece of paper or a permit that allows you to carry a gun that you would otherwise not be legally allowed to do. It gives you permission to carry a gun. It doesn't necessarily give you permission to use the gun. So keep that in mind. It's another tool to protect yourself and your family. In fact, people that carry guns are held to a higher standard. You're judged. If you have to use that gun, you will be judged according to the reasonable person standard. In other words, the prosecution and police will look at a lot of factors. They will look at, did you start the confrontation, or were you an innocent bystander? Did you escalate it in any way? Did you do anything to escape the situation, whether it's walk away, run away, hide, get behind cover? I'm not saying you need to be someone's punching bag. I'm just saying that all these things will be looked at in the aftermath if you do have to use your gun. I'm not trying to discourage anyone from getting a carry permit. I want you to make an informed decision. To me, it's way more than I submitted the application, I paid the fees, got the background check, and I qualified at the range. So now I'm good to go. It's way more than that. Carrying a gun is an awesome responsibility that should not be taken lightly, and you need to consider many factors when deciding if it's right for you. If you like this video, please hit the like button and share it. Also consider subscribing if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when we release new videos. Thanks for watching. Take care and stay safe.